But we'll have to see what adaptations, what they change. I'd imagine Coach Blank has something to say about how that series unfolded up against Complexity. But we've seen site hit from T1 before. They work their way up through the middle, and then they hit at the same time from B main and on the site. We'll see if Gen.G can actually survive, because they've got 2 members in the back of site.
Right, they just have to buy time and let resources get there, but unfortunately both Guman and MkaeL are going to fall before the reinforcements, before the cavalry arrives. Now they're going to start to show up. Player 1 has to wait for his teammates, though, to ensure that it's going to be a concerted push from both ends. Shawn and huynh are going to be coming in as well. There's going to be Brax. Brax, a guy who said we need to keep an eye out for, not going to be in the action this time around. Shawn gets the best of him with a frenzy. The clock continues to tick.
Yeah, 25 seconds left on that clock, so not a lot of time left. Need 7 seconds to defuse, and time is ticking. Maybe Gen.G have given that thought up and are just looking for exits, but it seems that they are the ones that are exiting this realm. It's down to Shawn. He finds a pick early, but with 10 seconds to mid side. And if Gen.G completely give it up, they're leaving their boots on the ground, maybe playing contact on the sites themselves, but the rolling carpet's going to be rolled out. huynh finds the early pick, escapes, and now Gen.G forced to play the retake in an advantageous position.
Yeah, very well played for him to get that pick and get away with his life was exactly what Gen.G needed. Yeah, the spike is going to go down, but Gen.G from a position of power are going to be able to fight back. The only thing is that T1 is establishing their post-plant positions. Furthermore, you see the Sova rotating away on that anchor spot in case anyone catches around the flank. They're waiting for it. huynh going to get a chance. huynh going to get taken out. He gets CC'd and is completely taken care of.
It's down to 2 for T1. Gen.G slowly but surely make their way onto the site, and really it's off of the TF2 heavy. MkaeL with the Odin just walks in, takes him down. huynh will manage to get that up into the second round, and now the forward. He would have found Brax looking at a camera, but now he's going to find himself in an engagement nonetheless. He's trying to smoke himself off to safety. The paranoia comes through. He's still being sprayed. He's still trying to get close. Holy smokes, an upshot to the dome. But they still, once again, the classic play from T1. Work their way through the middle and work their way through B main. They've got control, but it's temporary as Gen.G are coming for the retake.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, though. They're all going to be coming from the same spot. Fortunately for them, nobody on T1 is going to be playing around that anchor spot, which means they're going to be able to get through the middle just fine. The spike has been planted. It's going to be straight up 4v4. Gen.G is going to have that Empress, so keep that in mind as a possibility, as a wrinkle to the plan, should they choose to go that way. You mentioned at the beginning of the round that Gen.G just needs one more to try to equalize the financial situation here. But it's a tough one.
20 seconds left. Time is ticking. Gen.G do this all the time. They play with fire. Time is of the essence, and that is the 5th player, the 6th player in the lobby. But unfortunately for them, so is Spyder as they get caught in the web. The Venom strikes all down to player 1, and Spyder will take him down. He will unfortunately fall to the spike, having a lot of flexibility with the roster altogether. Player 1, though, is not going to be very flexible. He's being cornered in here, and we're not looking at that same mid flank that we normally see, but player 1 is still able to find 2 picks, deny this push from T1, and gives Gen.G so much time to get onto the site. Player 1, holy smokes, he stopped 3, and now there's 2 more remaining. The paranoia from the side. Brax is still participating, but it's a 1v3, and he'll be taken down by the knives of Market and make their way onto the B site. But look at this fake. Smoke down, wall broken. This is going to pull Gen.G members off to anticipate a B site push, but it never was. It was A site all along.
Yeah, and it didn't look like they bit very hard at all. There's still going to be huynh playing across the middle, and Shawn this time is going to be the one who's able to get an opening frag and buy time. The thing is, it still doesn't look like they know very much of what's going on. Now that's going to give the position away. Player 1 once again in an anchor spot, gets one looking for a second, and yeah, baby, serve it up and give it to him once again in a position where he's going to be able to cause some serious problems for T1. However, AZK takes care of him once again. It's going to be a flank, however, from Skadoodle going through tree. He takes care of Shawn, dashes his way in. He's able to take care of huynh as well, but not before huynh joins in on the action. Skadoodle playing ring around the Rosie. Oh, he's able to get one, but he's only got 2 bullets left. He's going to have to reload a 1v1. He dashes away. He's got the blade sword as well, and Skadoodle gets 4!
You guys.
Oh my god. Which is once again the T1 special. 3 through the fruit market and 2 towards B main.
Yeah, it's a bit more aggressive of a defensive position from Shawn here. He's going to get flashed up. Is still able to get one. He's going to reposition himself, but unfortunately dismisses right into the warm, welcoming arms of Brax, the leader for T1, able to take care of him. But Guimon, back behind the site, is able to get one. AZK trades it out. Win with the blades, not able to do enough damage. Brax is going to be able to get the spike down, but it did not matter.
No, they didn't.
Gen.G initial postures by B. Gonna get lured off. Wynn's actually gonna dash in with the frenzy. No less, it looks like the spike has made its way onto B. Gen.G should be able to get the plant down.
Planted.
Now T1 have to play the retake. Brax is coming extra late to the party. He's thinking about the flank while T1 have membership towards the fruit market and towards the alleyway leading towards the defender spawn. Gen.G are stuck. There is a player playing point, MkaeL, anticipating a potential flank, but Brax decides against it. So there's a player playing B main while the rest are on site. T1 have a difficult job ahead. Now Shawn's going to see a couple of members coming through. He's going to dismiss out. So much space gathered. They're going to take them apart one at a time. AZK will trade. So will DaZeD, but the spike is ticking, and they need to start the defuse. There's a player that hops out. It's huynh, and it's down to the 1v1. Brax versus huynh. They end up in a 1v1, but both get eradicated. So far, it's looking good for Gen.G. It started out rough, but they started to really come online. As you highlighted, huynh, the person leading the charge at the moment, has been a prime factor of it, but Skadoodle's going to tell him to sit down. It was traded by Shawn, but they still made their way onto the site.
He also is 1 point away from the Blade Storm. Narrowly misses that shot. AZK is able to get one with a bit of utility as well. As the spike goes down, they try to fight through heaven. This is a brutal way to retake this site, as we've seen time and time again, but so far, so good for T1. MkaeL on the flank, not able to get a very important kill. That leaves player one the last one standing, folks. We've seen player one pull off insane heroics before. This time, he's going to get tagged up. He's going to get spotted. The tripwire was there, fortunately. Wait. Okay, they do know he's able to get one. Give him the second. Drop things down to a 1v1, but the defuse is coming up. He's going to have to go aggressively. Skadoodle's able to get it to halftime. Skadoodle goes up and player one brings him back down.
Come on.
From both of the Sovas. Nobody has gone down yet. A bit of information was gathered, but all lives still preserved. Brax holding down Hell. He's going to get a chance on the win. He's able to take care of him, and the neural theft will give everything away.
Man, that's Brax doing a player one cosplay there, just holding down. Let's see if he can find a couple more picks. He does get one wade, at least for the time being. He's just trying to survive, but unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. Tony Montana drops down as DaZeD. He's going to be taken down by Shawn, but somehow T1 able to answer back. AZK having a frenzy up above, but Shawn is a factor. He is always a factor. 40 seconds remain. Shawn trying to push forward. There's an op on the opposite side. First shot's not going to connect, but the spike's in a tough spot. Skadoodle finds the shot.
Are looking to establish control on B. Smokes go down. Wing goes up. He dashes forward. He sees one, and he's met by the cold bullet of an operator from Skadoodle. Skadoodle still trying to hold that down and keep things at bay as he's just getting pushed around the smokes. There's Liz, but he hits it through the smoke anyway. Are you kidding me? Skadoodle does it again.
Of course it's Skadoodle. Who else would be able to pull such a feat off? Gen.G still have to get that spike down. It is in the hands of player one, but they know Skadoodle is in the cave, and you don't want to poke the bear who's hibernating back there. Skadoodle now we're going to have to deal with the closeness of player one. He does have a phantom, so he's swapped off with the powerful weapon. The spike is now down. This is going to be a little bit of a tougher spot. Tailwind's out. Gimon looking for him, but there's too many players to focus. And I just don't... I would love to go back and see how that was executed, because I'm still a little dumbfounded. What was the change that was necessary for T1 to find opportunities like that? What were they reading on the Gen.G movement? Because now it's just down to two, just down to one. Wow. It's player one against an army of T1. And the recon ball is not going to make it any easier. He does find a pick there near the end on the stuffs, not having an entire repertoire of Haven maps to review. That bodes well, incredibly well for them. But this is the first look, and a lot of teams are going to be looking for opportunities to exploit, especially if T1 don't make it, and we're going to be looking at the close qualifier, moving on for the second half of the UFG.
Well, Gen.G slipped their way onto the C site. They got the spike down as well. Now it looks like they're going to rotate back. There is a tripwire to ensure that nobody's flanking around, but they begin to assume their post plants. See a couple of pings coming out as AZK tries to cause a little bit of ruckus. The paranoia and the smoke come out as well to give them entry onto the site. Skadoodle and player 1 are able to trade a kill apiece as the clock continues to tick away. Player 1 from that anchor finally gets taken out. A 2v2 here for it. DaZeD is starting to defuse. The pings are out. The body block was there, and he's able to take care of him as well. One here. They don't have any reps on this during the qualifier, the open qualifier or the closed qualifier for that matter. Skadoodle trying to play this tight corner.
Nice.
Yeah, he does. They don't know he's there. He don't know he's there. Yeah, he gets one. He gets the second one as well. It's a bloodbath. Skadoodle's down to 11 health. He's going to dash away and gets away with his life.
He needed the help. He's still alive. DaZeD was just there to try to support him, but he will end up falling down to the 3v3. You love to see that support. Skadoodle hides in the 50. DaZeD says, there's no one here. I'm the only one here. I'm running away. But still, they bring it down to a 3v3. Paranoia to help out with the player backside. They drop down. They take out huynh, and that's actually going to help out immensely. But player 1 is still alive. And now it's all down to him. 16 HP backside. Brax through the smoke. That's what I'm talking about. T1 answer back. It's an expensive round. The heroics from Skadoodle pay off.
Yeah, well, as gunfire shoots in between all the smokes, that camera was there to essentially negate that play, but it finally gets cleared out. Gen.G are going to get onto the site. Player 1 and huynh have already taken out 2. The neural theft is there as well to give them information. And Gen.G cause a bunch of ruckus on B and then rotate over to C.
Yeah, they did have Guimond over there playing point. Skadoodle's going to find a pick of some of those members rotating off of the B site. So now it's a 3v3. Oh, huynh misses such a crucial shot. Now the Blade Storm comes up. huynh just trying to run and hide. Play ring around the Rosie, but Spyder's there to accept him with his open arms. MkaeL now the last player standing. They still need to defuse the spike. Spyder finds out where the last player is located, and the paranoia is unfortunately deadly. They do trade, but still T1 manages to find a round. And from what we thought initially, Gen.G starting off to a hot start, T1 have been able to bring it back within 1. It's not the worst case scenario, you know. The attacking half moving into the second half is ultimately going to be a little bit better. But we'll see what this round looks like. Skadoodle starts with the pick. Finally, the sewers presence pays off. And now Gen.G start with a member down.
Yeah, but look at Gen.G. They're choosing to play into this anyway. They move the drone up. Skadoodle repositions, and he gets another one. Surely, at this point, they're really questioning whether or not this was the right call. Player 1 down as well. Gen.G at this point with 2 members left. What the heck? They might as well. Skadoodle with 4 on the operator. Just serve him up the ace. At this point, Guimond really with no options. It's just going to continue to push forward. He's going to take care of the drone. Smoke is there to at least deny the ace for the time being, but nope.
Okay. I mean,
Side, regardless of the map, and this seems to be no different. The spike has not moved. You've got all members spread out as they try to get some info. Brax takes care of Shawn early on. Early aggression from Gen.G being punished.
Passive play towards the C site. They know their place, as every team should. The C site, if you could rather avoid dying and retake as a team, it could increase your odds of taking that site back, right? If you die on the site, you're no use to the team. And so a little bit more of a lighter presence towards the C site. Unfortunately, T1 are just fishermen. Gen.G are the fish, catching them in the net, letting them walk forward and play aggressive when they don't need to be. You're on the defense. If you can find some offensive plays, sure. But these individual picks that T1 have found have really hurt Gen.G on this pistol round.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, they certainly have, and that really opens up the map for T1. You mentioned for how long Spyder had been hanging out in that C cubby, waiting patiently to ensure that that was the right way to go. It's a high percentage play here, and it's because they've done all their due diligence for the last freaking almost minute and 40 seconds, minute and 30 seconds ultimately, to ensure that that was a safe play. They've gotten onto the site, they've got the spike down as well. Now Gen.G forced to fight for the retake.
Indeed, they do. And we'll see if their retakes fare up and shape up a little bit better than T1's retakes on the C side. So far, that does not seem to be the case. Spyder catches player 1 in his web. 2 players remain, a couple of tags. MkaeL just trying to fight Spyder off, but Gen.G, in my opinion, are infamous for walking the fine line of letting the spike explode and looking for exits. They play such they play such a pressurized point defense. They're willing to lose the round. They know that they've lost. They're just trying to make it expensive for the opposition, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Unfortunately, it's all down to the 1v2 over to most often than not. I don't think they're exactly comfortable with the seaside hit, but there's a lot that we don't know. I'm just making assumptions based on how they've played these early rounds.
There's a good assumption. Win and player one are able to take
left.
care of two members of T1. We mentioned Gen.G with firepower this time around, and it's going about as well as you would expect. T1 down to two members left. Yeah, they've managed to get onto the site. At this point, they're looking for the credits to get the spike down. As outnumbered as they are, they've got some weapons to work with. The Bulldog certainly bites there as it takes out MkaeL, but it's going to be traded back. Just one member left on the side of T1, and it's dazed in a corner. He was paranoia. The paranoia wore off, and the bullets did not. huynh gets the best of him. Gen.G are able to take this bad boy away.
Small window of opportunity to take out a couple of more members with him, I think, for DaZeD, but Gen.G just get the credits for the spike plant, and they're going to get the loss bonus. That's ultimately what they wanted, to try to get their own momentum, combined momentum with pendulum. That's a new word. And Brax is looking for a new word to find out how he found the frenzy frag. Skadoodle finds a second. It's down to 3 for Gen.G. Things are not looking so hot. The paranoia is going to make things worse. It's all down to MkaeL. This round slipped away completely. The thrifty. Spyder.
Boy.
Oh, Spyder! Oh, the fly gets caught in the web. Player one down for the count. Brax gonna find another. Guimon is looking to answer back. But the Vandal is...
Got the Rolling Thunder as well. Things are piling up against Gen.G more and more as every second passes. An early look down C long. Then they begin to rotate away, but they got the orb that they were looking for. It looks like this may be a piece onto A the entire time, as we see Brax has been sitting there waiting to see if anyone's going to push up aggressively down A, as we have seen time and time again. This time, not the case. Oh, baby. This one's going down on A.
There's a lot of time left, 30 seconds.
30 seconds
Not
left.
enough time, I think, to hightail it over towards the C site. Smokes are down. MkaeL is going to need to call the reinforcements soon, as the site is going to be wide open for T1. Shock darts won't injure Spyder. And now it is up to how T1 want to play this. They've got a lot of membership towards that long side. It isn't plant. Well, I mean, it's technically planted for long because it's the default plant spot, but Gen.G are going to have to work their way in.
DaZeD playing in short needs to be careful as player one is starting to creep his way up towards A. The rest of the members of Gen.G begin to funnel in. Shawn's able to get an important opening pick, but AZK trades it right back out on the flank. There's no additional pressure coming in from any other side. It's just it. They're going to start to defuse it, and the Rolling Thunder comes in, but Shawn manages to dodge it. DaZeD is able to pick them apart, though, as he gets 2. The Bladestorm is there. Shawn with 3. I don't know that he's going to have enough time. Ladies and gentlemen, it might not matter. It's probably down to a 1v1. Shawn does it, but it does not matter. T1 eliminate Gen.G.